Yeah. Good morning, Rhoda Moy.
Good morning, Mr. Hughes. How are you? Good morning to your listeners.
I am good. And you?
I am very well, very well.
You're just profiling, taking pictures, and not doing anything?
Boy, Mr. Hughes, when I first saw and heard the comments, my immediate reaction was we really ought to put a ban on the use and availability of alcoholic beverages at these political rallies. That was my initial response. But after settling
Where I
and
say he
listening,
was drunk?
it must be Mr. Hughes.
Oh.
But following Mikael's recent utterances and that of many of the PNP officials, my one word to describe Mikael and the PNP is dishonest. Dishonest. They are so dishonest. I am right here.
I wonder what
And
happened a while ago.
perhaps because I shifted a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I
Yes.
was saying to you, Mr. Hughes, I have all rights to boast and hit my chest and brag because never before in the history of this constituency, Manchester Central, has anyone seen such record number of road repairs being done left, right, and center from the town of Mandeville to the most rural areas in the constituency. Even repairs that are the full responsibility of the mayor of Mandeville. I have had to be taking them on in my attempts to restore dignity to the town. So I don't want any site that anyone sees me on supervising and looking at the work. It is work that I have an input. It is work that either I would have allocated funds from my CDF or I would have lobbied agencies of government. I don't go and stand up on site. I don't know if that's the practice of theirs, but I can't fathom how someone could think and say that. I was referring to the traffic management system, $80 million before I got cut. Minister Warmington came here and after he toured and he saw the need for it, immediately he allocated $80 million. The Manchester Municipal Corporation has nothing at all to do with that project. The very design is done by the NWA, the design and the implementation. This project, when completed, we're more than 60% now. New traffic light systems that will be equipped with the Jamaica Eye system and monitoring system from Kingston. That's what we're doing now in the town. And apart from that, Mr. Hughes, the town of Mandeville will be seeing major repairs. I had done a submission of $40 million that all of the members of parliament received, and those were submitted since January, but we had some delays with the NWA. I am very happy that those have now been approved. The procurement exercise is completed, so quite a number of work will start in that area. But apart from the Greater Mandeville traffic system, for decades upon decades, even John Jr., he served as minister. Peter Bunting collectively, they served for more than 31 unbroken years. And it is under this Andrew Holness-led administration that we're currently embarking on this massive $4 billion Greater Mandeville water improvement system. We are well advanced, and this system is scheduled to be completed in 2024. But even before this system is at full completion, it is designed in such a way that as they move across stages, constituents who never received water before or who have irregular flows have been receiving water. And this is not just for constituents in Manchester Central. Some constituents in Northwest, in South, and it goes down into St. Elizabeth are already benefiting from this program,
Including Mr. Phillips's constituency
including
of
sections of
Northwest?
Mr. Phillips' constituency. As a matter of fact, outside of this program, Mr. Hughes, because it is the philosophy of the Andrew Holness-led administration that even while you teach a man to fish, you don't allow him to die of hunger. So even while this Greater Mandeville water system, $4 billion, is in shape, water shops are being opened. Minister Mackenzie was just in Northwest in the constituency represented by Mikael Phillips, opening a massive water shop. He was there smiling and thanking the government. One was done in Belfield as well, in the strongest PNP area in my constituency. And outside of that, to alleviate the drought situation, For me, I have provided almost 400 water tanks. I would have spent up to $4 million trucking water to schools and to homes. Apart from that, we know the Maypen to Williamsfield leg of the highway, that's in full flight. It's scheduled to be completed in August. When that is completed, it will take motorists driving at the required speed limit 15 minutes to get from Maypen to Williamsfield. That's another massive investment. Third housing solutions, 112 housing solutions have been put in place. Prime Minister Holness was here in 2021 in December, putting keys into the homes of operators. For the very first time, Manchester has a parish court, state-of-the-art parish court, family court that is. Minister Chuck came to open those doors. $48 million was spent on the new female ward at the Manchester Infirmary. Just a few months ago, $87 million was spent to open the special education campus. It is an extension of the Albion Primary School with plans well on the way.
Where is that located?
That's in the Knockpatrick division right here in Manchester Central.
Oh.
Minister Favour Williams was here. The team from JSIF was here. There's a full renovation currently taking place at the Broadleaf Health Center. That's in the Royal Flat division. Outside of that, a handing over ceremony will be done on the 13th of this month. That's 2 days from now at the Manchester Health Center. Major renovations were done and retrofitting. Even at the very Mandeville Hospital, quite a number of new equipment would have already been donated and is now in use, and there are plans to implement, to put in place some more. I'm going to be touring with Minister Tufton because of the new equipment that have come. An official opening ceremony is going to be had. We have spent millions of dollars on drain system. For those who are familiar with Mandeville, there's a section right.
But hold on, Miss Crawford. So you're telling me you're just reeling them off? Huh?
So many,
in terms,
I know them by heart.
Hold on, in terms of central Manchester. But what about the northern part of the parish and the southern part of the parish?
So for that part, Mikael would need to answer why after 40 unbroken years of PNP representation, his constituency is in the state that it is. Because as a member of parliament, outside of what each of us is allocated, we have the authority to appeal to not only ministers, but to appeal to private interests to get support, to see to other expansions and other infrastructure development in our own constituency. Mikael's constituency might very well be one of the worst constituencies, is not the worst constituency, a matter of fact, in all of Manchester.
Why?
For me, my assessment is failure. It's failure on the part of the elected officials, term after term. Mr. Hughes, if I can be in office in less than 3 years and I have achieved so much, more than 20 million I would have spent with education grants and back to school assistance. And I saw where John Jr. made a comment at the same meeting about calling me Miss Brown Envelope, because they would have seen me at graduations awarding PEP students and head boy and head girl. I grew up in poverty. It is education that is responsible for where I am today. I had to sell in the Santa Cruz market with my mother to help to go to school, and so it is why access to education and training.
Hold on there. Hold on. They call you what? Miss Brown Envelope?
Miss Brown Envelope.
Why?
Because they noticed that during this graduation season, they would have spotted me at graduation, giving education grants to the top. At the primary level is the top boy and top girl at all the primary schools in Manchester Central. I've started a PEP award. And then now, at the high school graduations, the head boy and head girls at those graduations, I would have given them education grants. 50,000 each for the head boy and head girl at the high school, and 15,000 for the PEP students, because I know that once access to education and training is given, that is the vehicle the youngsters in my constituency will be able to use to achieve great success.
Mm.
And so I have been doing, if I could have done all of that in less than 3 years, I don't know what excuse Mr. Phillips or any one of them has for not doing the amount of work that we have been able to do. He needs to stop pointing fingers and start to get serious, get busy, go and get some work done. That's what he ought to do. Go and lobby the agencies of the state. Go and lobby private interests. Go and lobby different groups and get the work done. That's what he needs to do.
Mm.
And stop being dishonest.
Wow.
And that is not even half of the work that we have been doing, Mr. Hughes. The drain system right in the town of Mandeville, across from Heaven's Fresco, right at the intersection of Ward Avenue where Scotiabank is. Persons will recall that in the past, when there's heavy rain, that the area would be flooded significantly.
Mm-hmm.
That system, that drainage system, has been fixed. We don't have that issue anymore, and we haven't stopped there. We have put a comprehensive system along Long Hill in the Belfield division, and as we speak right now on Manchester Road, we are putting in a drainage system, a proper drainage system for more than 32 years. Residents in Wheatley Street have been begging and asking for this drain system because when it rains, the water goes over onto private property and damages it. And now we are dealing with it. So Mikael is very dishonest.
No. Stop saying that. The issue of the Mandeville Hospital, Miss Rhoda Moy, after the break,
Yes.
the condition at that hospital after the break. JLP is Rhoda Moy Crawford. Rhoda Moy Crawford is already how should I say? What is the word I'm searching for? Quite a newcomer to the politics. Yes? I'll never forget the morning when she came on here. And she came here, yes, as in Cliff Hughes online. Yes? And, that set off a whole heap of problems for we in media and in the political process because, Miss Crawford, I attribute to you, you're the cause of many of the problems the People's National Party are having today,
I know, and that is why they have been attacking me so much. And I can tell them they can send their 62 candidates down to Manchester Central to help their new candidate, and he will still be defeated because the people have never seen so much work, and they're so confident in my leadership. So they can carry all 62.
All right. So, Miss Rhoda, Mandeville
Yes, sir.
Hospital, I gather conditions there are not all too good at all. Yes, Mr. Phillips made reference to the conditions there at the hospital. We have had people complaining about not having enough doctors or beds in the hospital to take care of the demand. What's happening there?
So, first of all, from my own observation, and I was there up to yesterday because I have an aunt who was admitted, and I did not see anyone lying or sleeping on any floors at the Mandeville Hospital. What I saw were hard-working doctors and nurses going above and beyond to respond to the patients that they were seeing. I would have spoken to Minister Tufton because we would have received complaints from some of the doctors and nurses that there is a shortage, that there's a need for more beds at the hospital. And I know Minister Tufton is working assiduously to get new furniture, not just beds, but new machines. Quite a number of new machines have already been put into service there. And I know that even as we speak, there is plans in place to improve the situation. But no, I have never seen anyone sleeping on any cardboard at Mandeville Hospital. And apart from being there yesterday to visit my aunt, I frequent there to visit my constituents. My grandfather was admitted there a couple of weeks ago, and none of those situations were seen. Of course, Mr. Hughes, we can all understand that there are challenges in every sector. Mm-hmm. But this government, we have been making tremendous impact. We cannot fix every problem all at once. That 18 unbroken years of PNP leadership, it will take some time for us to be able. As a matter of fact, I think we need a full unbroken 18 years to get back the country where the PNP had left it. And so what is happening is like you get a salary of 100,000 every month, but you have a loan of 80,000. So you only have 20,000 to spend. So that's what is facing the JLP administration. The PNP has left the country in so much shambles. And so we have to be working overtime to put all the infrastructure in place. And that is why we can't afford to have the PNP get their hands back on government to derail all of the efforts. So, of course, there are challenges, Mr. Yu. I would be dishonest if I were to come here and tell you that there are not challenges. But instead of chatting and helping to create misery and escalating and magnifying issues, we are busy looking about solutions. This current Andrew Holness-led government, I don't know if any history, in the history of Jamaica, have we seen such strong leadership from the Prime Minister to the cabinet ministers to the state ministers to the back bench. All of us, the new MPs, Mr. Hughes, I maintain close relationship with them. We talk. We are on the phone. We visit these other constituencies when we can. We share what we are doing. And all of the new MPs, barring none, have been working overtime, especially those of us who have inherited constituencies that the PNP has had for 30 and 40 years. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. That is what they ought to be.
Rhoda Moy Crawford, thank you very much, ma'am.
Take care, Mr.
Well, that was a blast. That was a blast from Rhoda. Yeah. 7 minutes after 11.